Am I the jerk for getting my sister arrested and destroying her dream wedding after she tried to illegally steal my house while I was away? My entitled sister tried to steal my house for her dream wedding by forging a deed while I was on a business trip. Her unbelievable entitlement leads to an instant arrest, a cancelled wedding, and massive federal fraud charges. Am I the jerk for letting my entitled sister go to jail, completely destroying her dream wedding, and ruining her life after she tried to illegally steal my house? Grab some popcorn, because the delusion here is completely off the charts. I am a 28-year-old male, and my sister, Emma, is 25. Emma has always been the golden child. Growing up, my parents gave her absolutely everything she ever wanted. Because of this endless enabling, she grew up believing the entire universe revolves around her. I, on the other hand, moved out at 18 and built a successful career in software engineering. 4 years ago, our grandfather passed away. In his will, my parents got some cash, Emma got a small trust fund, and I was left his house. It was a severely run-down, 3-bedroom fixer-upper from the 60s. My parents and Emma actually laughed, calling it a massive money pit. But I saw the potential. Over the next 3 years, I poured every ounce of my free time and savings into that property. I gutted it, rewired it, and transformed it into a beautiful, modern home. The property value tripled. Fast forward to 8 months ago. Emma got engaged to a guy named Mark. Emma immediately started planning a wedding that would make a royal family jealous, with a massive budget they absolutely did not have. Then came the engagement dinner. We were all gathered at a nice restaurant when Emma stood up to make a toast. With a giant, fake smile, she turned to me. "And we want to give a special shout out to my big brother," she announced loudly. "Thank you so much for agreeing to gift us your house as our wedding present." The entire room went silent. Extended family started clapping. I was completely paralyzed with shock. We had never even discussed this. She had ambushed me in public, trying to manipulate me into agreeing out of sheer peer pressure. I stood up, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "Emma, I have no idea what you are talking about. I am absolutely not giving you my house. That is my home, and it is not a wedding gift." Emma's face turned beet red. She burst into dramatic tears and ran out. My parents immediately started screaming at me, calling me a selfish monster for ruining her special night. The next few weeks were a living hell of angry texts, and I finally had to block them for my own sanity. I thought that would be the end of it. I was incredibly, dangerously wrong. 2 months before the wedding, I had to leave the state for a 2-week business trip. A few days into my trip, my security system went offline. I thought it was just a Wi-Fi glitch. When I finally flew back home, I put my key in the front door, but it wouldn't turn. The lock had been replaced. Through the window, I saw my furniture had been moved and boxes were everywhere. Panic set in. I banged on the door, and to my absolute horror, Emma answered it. "What the hell are you doing in my house?" I yelled. She smirked. "Your house? No, this is my house now. Mom and Dad said you were being unreasonable, so we had a locksmith come out. You can get your things from the garage tomorrow." I didn't argue. I turned around, walked down the driveway, and dialed 911. 2 police cruisers arrived within 10 minutes. Emma opened the door for them, playing the victim. The officers asked for proof of residence. I pulled up my property tax records on my phone. Emma, however, confidently handed the cops a piece of paper. "He signed the deed over to me last month," she claimed. It was a quitclaim deed, supposedly transferring ownership to Emma. The only problem? The signature was a horrible, blatant forgery, and the notary stamp was completely fake. I pointed this out immediately. Under minimal pressure, Emma's story unraveled. She admitted she faked the document to show the locksmith. The police arrested her on the spot for breaking and entering, trespassing, and forgery. Watching her get handcuffed and put into a squad car was surreal. But the nightmare wasn't over. Inside, I found a letter from a major bank addressed to her. Emma had used that forged deed to apply for a massive home equity line of credit against my house. She had fraudulently borrowed $60,000, and the money had already been disbursed to pay for her extravagant wedding. She had committed massive federal financial fraud. I spent the next 3 days on the phone with the bank's fraud department and detectives. Because she defrauded a national bank, federal authorities got involved. All her accounts were frozen. Every single wedding vendor cancelled on her. Mark, her fiancé, was completely horrified. When he found out she was facing serious felony charges, he packed his bags, called off the wedding, and blocked her number. My parents begged me to drop the charges, but it is entirely out of my hands. The government is pressing charges for mortgage fraud and identity theft. Emma is currently out on bail, living in our parents' basement. Her wedding is destroyed, her fiancé left her, she has no money, and she is looking at time in prison. I have installed industrial-grade security cameras. Sitting in the quiet peace of my own home, I do not feel guilty at all. So, tell me, am I the jerk?